Okay, let's dive into these plans for a sec. Dave, we'll start with yours. And I'm going to leave PowerPoint for 1 second, and I'm going to open this up. Now, let me give a very quick summary for all of you guys. I know this is hard to see. I'm going to zoom in at certain points so it becomes much more visible, but I just want to kind of show this to you zoomed out for a second. This will be available for download at the end. There's sort of a fill in the blanks template where you can create your own version of this. So make sure you grab that and between now and Christmas or New Year's, take the time to do this right. But basically how we organize this is in quadrants. So you can see on this top left corner, this is like your foundation quadrant, as it says up here. This is big pictures of this is your why, your purpose, your BHAG, right? That 5-year vision that gets you really excited. It's a place to put your core values, and it's a place to put your tactics to integrate the core values into the business. Then we move into like an annual goal setting section where we actually think of revenue numbers we want to hit, profit numbers we want to hit, other super core implementation items that we need to see happen for the benefit of the business long term. So now we're kind of thinking on a yearly basis. And then we move into actual quarters. So over here on the right, you can see Q1. Here are the key things to hit in the first 3 months of the year. Q2, there's a different set of things. Q3, Q4, etc. Dave, I'm gonna hand the mic back to you. I think we talked offline. And, you mentioned core values being a big thing. Maybe you can talk a little bit values, tactics to integrate, and then any other like really important goals that stand out to you on this page. Let's try to keep it to like 3 or 4 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, I think I mentioned I could talk core values. I could talk core values for a long time. I didn't have any core values until my friend who's a marketing consultant who helped me set up our website and stuff. He came to me back at the beginning of 2020 and said, "What are your core values? We got to come up with some core values." Now we use them all the time. We use them for hiring. It's all over our website. The number one thing I get when people are applying for the job is I checked out your core values. I really relate to them, and that's the one thing that's one thing that I really look for when I'm hiring people too. And like I said earlier, we have our crew shouting them out all the time. The first two I like to think are field related. Obviously walk the talk and dig deep. Those are basically around work ethic and doing what we promise. And join forces, that leads right into the BTA mentality of I really enjoy networking with other landscapers, getting to know other landscapers, sharing thoughts and ideas. I'm really an open book as far as
in your market
company. Yeah, we go for lunches. I have several guys and girls that we go for lunch all the time, and it's helpful. There's it's a mindset of abundance thing. There's plenty of work to go around, and I'm more interested in kind of raising the bar in the whole industry, which I fear can have a bit of a bad rap sometimes.
Totally. One of the things that we do, I think this is unique to us. Maybe there's other versions of this that do it as well. But I think that one thing we're really good at Breakthrough Academy is this tactics to integrate the values. So it's not one of the things with core values, and the reason some people maybe think they're kind of fluffy or it's just a marketing exercise, is people just pick kind of like, fancy $5 words from a thesaurus and go, those are our core values, and they throw them on a poster, and like really inevitably people end up not caring about them. They're literally just words on a wall. And so what these tactics are, these are actual focuses, things that we're going to do tactically to make sure that these values are lived out in our business. So for Dave's example, like we are marketing hard. This is for employee recruitment. This is one of his tactics. We're marketing hard on Instagram to recruit new staff, prioritize culture and values over skills and experience, always be recruiting. Setting an example. This is another one. Our leadership team is a good example of dig deep, and we have built accountability systems to encourage that throughout the company. So there's some actual thought here that goes into making the values real. And not just some fluff on the wall. So we'll go 2 minutes over, but I don't mind because this is important. The goal setting stuff. Remember, we mentioned at the beginning, you're making a really large shift. heavy install component to a more heavy maintenance install. So that's maybe just take us through the goals that are here. And if you could briefly just speak to, I think it'd be interesting for the audience to know why are you making this change, and maybe briefly go over the plan to make that happen.
I noticed some trends, I guess. And there's market trends, and there's also just internal trends of what we were good at, what me as a leader was good at. And I just found that we were less and less, I don't know, tied to the construction division. I'm searching for the right word. Where the install crew, I just wanted more consistency. The labor market, training, anyone who does both sides, the install and maintenance, will know that it's a lot easier in our area anyway to find maintenance people. It's a lot easier to train maintenance people. It's consistent. Heading into a recession, I heard a lot about that at the beginning of this year, and it started to worry me because we don't do a lot of new builds. We do a lot of home renovation for residential clients, and that area is very tied to the economy. I mean, there's always going to be people with money to spend on that, but it was just becoming a little tougher. I could see in my forecasts. So, and then just for my personality, I feel like it lends itself to maintenance a little bit more. It's just a very different mindset.
So, guys, I hope you're getting all this. This is really just really smart entrepreneurial, like operator thinking. What Dave is saying is, hey, there could be a shifting market. I'd like to be a little bit insulated from new construction because historically speaking, that's the one that tanks. We'll take those jobs if we can get them, but I don't want all my eggs in one basket. So those are captured right here in the goals. He's got critical numbers attached. And then what's really cool is the quarterly goals are deeply aligned with those annual the quarterly rocks are deeply aligned with those annual goals. So everything here makes sense. It's very linear, going back to that idea that Matt brought up earlier. We mark X on the map, but now we need to build the path to get there. That's done quarterly. And this right side of the whole document, which you guys are going to get, this is a living, breathing thing. This can and will change throughout the year, right, Dave? It's not like you just write it up in December and then everything goes perfectly. You're going to need to course correct. And so this is when we say it's big picture, it's a little bit more general. Annual is a little bit more detailed, and then quarterly it's super detailed and even reactive at times. This is how we take large, grandiose, big visions, big ideas, and break them down into manageable chunks that the team can now help us execute on. Any just closing comments here on your strat plan, Dave?
No, I mean, you just captured that. That's the only other thing I wanted to say is that I do consider it a living document. Less so on the left side. I like to think that the left side is like a snapshot of what my thinking was at the beginning of the year. This one was done in January of 2022. The right side, though, yeah, I will adapt it as the year goes on if things change. But and I also review it every month before my monthly meetings, and that helps me pick out themes and things that that we need to discuss. Because I can look at these things and immediately know, are we hitting those? Or are we missing them?
Guys, this is really cool. In the note of collaboration and like raising up the industry, this is, I don't know. I just want to appreciate the moment. Dave is an actual landscaper in Vancouver, sharing his actual goals and numbers for next year. This is a pretty it's just a cool thing. We get maybe a digital round of applause for this level of openness and sharing. This is what we're about. And I think it's so cool to have a look under the dash of another business. So thanks for sharing, Dave.
Listen, if you like that clip, you can watch the full episode by clicking here. If you're not yet subscribed, you probably should be, and you can do that by clicking right here.